Shotgun. Smooth, baby. That was pretty wicked. Hey chance, welcome back. Today with TDU Solar Crown Part 2. So yesterday we played a lot already, and today we actually unlocked the off-road races. The handling model is not the best. I'll try to get accustomed to it. Please start. Return to the road, please. Yeah, like the people that did use the wheel told me it's not very great. And for example, what they noticed is that when they move their wheel, it does not line up with the wheel inside the car. I think a racing game can be fun on any input. Like if the developers do it right, they have a good handling model for keyboard, controller and wheel. Here's the thing. If you want casuals to enjoy your game, at least the controller handling should be fine. And imagine someone that, I don't know, plays Counter-Strike all the time. And then they have to play with keyboard mouse, because there's a fair chance if they only play shooters on the PC, they don't even have a controller. This area is nice. What I find so strange is that it doesn't matter too much what the environment looks like. The FPS is always the same. I also didn't notice, I'm playing on Ultra right now, but yeah, we can't hold 60 FPS in a lot of situations, and it seems like the mountain area is harder to render. I gotta say though, the all-wheel drive cars seem to be the most normal cars to drive. Suspension on this thing is ridiculous. How big is the map? Not as big as... Was it Ibiza? Was Ibiza the biggest map? I think it's still fairly large. Obviously smaller than TDU 2. Probably bigger than TDU Motorfest. Not TDU, what am I saying? Crew Motorfest. No, whose idea was it to not implement single-player races? I don't know. But they eliminate a lot of potential players with that. I mean, I can see that you would enjoy it more than Forza Horizon, because the last Forza Horizon was the same as the previous one. The mirror, yeah, the mirrors, don't look at them. It looks like they're showing you a PlayStation 0.5 game. Now, something before the PlayStation 1, right? This is genuinely a worse look than a PlayStation 1 game what you get in the rearview mirror. It is a live service game, and they will definitely add stuff over time. But you know how I feel about additional content. Like, the first thing you need to do is fix the base game. As long as you have people complaining about graphics and driving physics, you got big issues. Like, you need people to get addicted to the core gameplay. That is true for every single game in the world. If people don't enjoy the core gameplay, they will not play a game for very long. Okay, so you can always change them between both clans. Tekigato. Let's do it. Oh, you will lose all of your progress with the current clan. Maybe we should wait a little bit. That's interesting. So you want to finish up the entire progress with a clan before you do the other one. The graphics pleasantly surprised you. It's funny, like some people like it and some people hate it. Like, you know, just as many people that say they like the graphics, there's just as many people that say it looks like a mobile game. I mean, what can I say other than I have a hard time seeing them being very successful with the game in its current state. And if they truly think they can fix the game until the launch day, they should say so. Like, they should go on record on the social media acknowledging the problems and being like, it's okay guys, we will fix it until the game releases. If they have the balls. If they have the balls, that's what they should do. Yeah, frame generation did not create any frames. This is how messed up everything is right now. The frame generation feature doesn't work. Yeah, I can't call the game competition for Horizon yet. And they only have 3 more months. Like, I wish them the best and I really hope they succeed. But I'm not sure they can fix the major issues until release day. For example, I could imagine that they don't change the handling whatsoever. And they're gonna concentrate on getting the performance of the game up until release. At least you can free drive when the server is down. That is true, like I expected it to be completely down. You know, when someone said the server is down, I was like, okay, I can't play. But then I started the game and, well, I could play, so that was actually surprising. But you can't really do too much, right? There's not that much you can do when the race servers are down, because even an NPC race is locked behind always online. You know, I don't think the game is bad, but at the same time, I'm not that excited. I'm still, you know, exploring right now, preparing myself for when the race servers are back. At least I don't see... Here's the thing, I think the majority of people will play this demo and tell themselves, yeah, I'm not gonna buy this. I think most people will be like, I'm gonna check this out. Oh, it sucks, I'm not gonna buy this game. Ranked system, hey, that's good though. That's obviously a good thing. Like, I'm missing the ranked multiplayer from Forza Horizon when they turned that off. Like, I actually don't think that the features of the game are gonna be a problem. But if the game doesn't run on the Steam Deck and you need ridiculous hardware to even run it on a PC, poo. And then you have people complaining about the handling again. Poo. Like, selling this game becomes harder and harder by the minute. Hey guys, Kuru here. Check out Instant Gaming for cheap game keys. Click the link in the description below. Reflections are busted. Dude, tell me something that isn't busted. I hate it. I hate it so much. I want to like this, but they're making it impossible. They're just making it completely impossible to recommend this game right now. Like, do you really think many people are gonna pre-order this game after playing this demo? Hey, I'm not gonna shit on anyone. If you enjoy the game, go ahead, bro. Have the time of your life. I will always say what's on my mind. I'll point out the good things, I'll point out the bad things. And have you seen the Steam page? Like, you wanna be real here? You wanna be real here for a second? You wanna see the community hub on Steam? You really wanna see it? You wanna see the discussions? RTX 3080, 30 FPS, crashes on start, stuck on the TDU menu. What happened to the game industry? Oh, about the online-only thing. Russian stuff. Anyone else crashing after trying to check out the luxury? The demo is utter mess. Fix the servers, runs like next gen, looks like last gen. What's going on with race servers? Why can't I make a single race? Some other complaint. EU players can't play with an A players, or is it just a bug? There wasn't a single positive discussion on the first page. Right? Let's be real here for a second. You can enjoy the game, but there are issues. Obvious issues. And everyone is experiencing them. Eden, I know what you mean, but usually you have some positive stuff in there too. Dude, I feel like I'm playing on a 300 euro graphics card from 5 years ago, considering my frame rate. You were playing yesterday, couldn't finish a single race, it would disconnect before the race. I mean, to be fair, yesterday the racing worked. Like, yesterday I had no problems running races. There weren't too many players. I had 3 races with 1 human opponent, and everything else was NPC races. I find it so interesting that they didn't include the career mode as single player. Because as you said, you know, a lot of people are not gonna buy it because it's always online. And today we already have the first problem. Like, I can't progress right now. You know what the problem is if exploring is more fun than the racing? At some point you have explored everything, and the only thing that remains is racing. If people start complaining that they don't like the racing in a racing game, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna change my stance on this. If the racing in a racing game isn't fun, it's not a good racing game, no matter what the other features are. I will mukbang on stream if this game is a smash hit. If this game smashes sales across the world and proves me wrong, we're gonna have a mukbang stream. I'm gonna force myself to eat like a 4 people sandwich or something. The thing is, this game is definitely planning to last longer. Right, they're going the MMO route. If you looked at all the quests that you're getting with the level ups, and you know, the consistent rewards for rising in ranks, I assume the same is gonna be true for multiplayer rewards. I'm not sure that the publisher wants to hear you play it for 2 weeks and then you throw it away. They want you to play this game forever, buy the battle pass, no, the solar pass, keep playing the game. Like, a live service game is not supposed to last just 2 weeks. The most enjoyable thing so far has been customizing the interior and actually looking inside the cars. Is that it? Oops. I found the one puddle of water in this game where you can drown your car. I'm not sure if it's possible anywhere else. Underground style Need for Speed with syncade handling would kill. I agree. I very much agree. Give me an underground style Need for Speed with Forza Horizon's handling and we are Gucci. Dude, imagine Forza dropping motorsport and making underground. Literally call it Forza Underground and fuck Need for Speed right in the, you know what. that would be hilarious. That Need for Speed gets schooled by Forza. But I don't want to be too mean here because I think Criterion is doing a good job right now trying to save Unbound. And they are learning a lot of stuff what we want from Need for Speed games because they actually reached out to us and talked to us what we want to see in Need for Speed. And the recent updates have shown to me that they are serious about this. And, you know, my personal wish is just that they take all of the learnings from this and put it into the next game. Hey, we are racing in a racing game. Fantastic. I mean, let's say the multiplayer servers are not online yet. That means multiplayer friend races are not running on the multiplayer servers. It's the power of friendship. You know, considering that the racing line always will send you through stuff, maybe they should reduce the slowdown on objects. If we're back to critiquing, I don't like the heavy slowdown. Kind of incentivizes you to learn which objects slow you down the most. So instead of braking, you're just gonna hit a lamppost. Right, that's more effective than hitting the brakes because it's faster. So you're basically aiming for a lamppost and then it breaks you down for the corner. That doesn't make sense. You get to, whoa! The suspension is very springy, I would say. You're gonna notice it when you crash. You wanna cut it short? Ain't got no time for the entire road. Let's go. It's nicer at night. I agree. How much does it have? Nah, it's always 3.5 gigabytes. I don't think it's a memory leak. It's gotta be something else. It seems to be using always 3.5 gigabytes. The radio is probably a lot better than the racing soundtrack, but yeah, you can't listen to the radio during racing. That is also hard locked for some reason. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, developers should not take away choice from the player, because I can tell you there's gonna be plenty of people, especially when it comes to something as critical as music. People want to decide that for themselves. So locking the radio stations for racing seems weird. I mean, I hope their always online gamble pays off, because I do not think we get another one. But if this game doesn't see any success, then there is no way, in my opinion, that they're gonna make another one. Because they invested a lot of money. If this game was actually in development for 6 years, and they don't see success with the game, I can totally see an abandonment of TDU. I mean, to be fair, all the other racing franchises are abandoned, so I'm happy TDU comes back. Honestly, I do not expect a bigger story than what we've seen so far. There's a few cutscenes that guide you through the game, but I seriously doubt there's gonna be more story than this. Because this is the beginning of the game, right? So unless they plan on adding a bunch of stuff post the demo, which I really don't think is gonna happen. They have 3 months left to release. They say the demo is an old build. I say that's possible, but I'm curious why. Why would they give us an old build if there's a newer one? That can only mean the new build is not stable. I mean, I can totally believe that optimization can still happen and we get more FPS when the game launches, but how much? How much performance improvement can we expect? 10%? 20%? 50? Double? Probably not double. Even a 50% uplift sounds unrealistic to me. The game's alright, the handling is alright, but I think the best feature of this game is gonna be the amount of content. Like, there's actually gonna be a lot of stuff to do here over a longer period of time. I don't think you can use rear-wheel drive cars without traction control. It's really awkward. Like, unless you actually want to drift around corners. It reminds me a lot of Motorfest. Like if you don't use traction control, you leave a lot of performance on the table. A lot of people call out the graphics for being mobile gamey. I don't think it's that bad. At the same time, I don't think it's that good, right? Like once again, it's like somewhere in the middle. I would agree with it doesn't look good enough for the current generation. Thought it sounds good. Yep. How do you rate the game's graphics? 7? I think the game overall is a 7 for me right now. I need to see a little bit more from the developers. I mean, I can only imagine people rating it less than 7 if the game doesn't even run on their machine. And that is a lot of people. If you've seen like most of the complaints, they're all talking about the terrible performance. Shotgun. Smooth, baby. That was pretty wicked. Are they gonna delay the game? I don't know. You know, I said it yesterday, since they pushed this demo out with no information ahead of time, I feel like somebody's pushing an agenda for this game, so I very much think that the game is gonna release on time. What do I think about the color list? I mean, I'm usually fine with whatever. It's not really a big ask from me. You know, I would always say work on gameplay first before you think about the color list. Because if you have a turd and you just throw new cars at it every week, then yeah, it's still a turd. Like first you need to get me hooked on the gameplay, which the game does a decent job of, to be honest. I think the gameplay has been the best so far, but with the limited FPS and always online issues and the handling issues, that's a bit tougher for me, right? That's the stuff that I want to see fixed, or at least improved as much as possible until the release of the game. Oops. But I figured out that all-wheel drive is very much meta, especially if you're gonna be in for the credits grind. If you have a rear-wheel drive car, you probably have to max out traction control. Even at 75%, I kept losing the rear of my car, and the overall grip felt pretty bad too, and the acceleration, like everything. Like traction control seems to be like a must for rear-wheel drive cars. Didn't do too much testing with front-wheel drive. I actually do think that they're gonna get less sales with always online. I think that's been the biggest critique point. Like, even if some people would like this game, they're like, always online, fuck this, I don't wanna bother with it. Because I think everyone in here had at least one bad experience with always online. I mean, I already had my first bad experience with it in this game yesterday, when the multiplayer servers were down, and I couldn't do any progress. It's funny how, like, we both hit the brakes and then the car slid to the other side. It looked very similar. But did you say the lobby is full with 4 players? That is stupid if you can do races with 8 people, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make too much sense. You can do 8-player races, but you can only have 4 humans in your party. That's the same shit as in other games. And then developers gonna tell me it's because of the interface. Really? The interface is the reason why you limit it to 4 instead of 8? It makes no sense. You have 8-player races, so allow 8-player lobbies. It's so simple, right? It's clan versus clan. Okay, then it makes a bit more sense. When you have 4 streets against 4 sharps. Then at least it has some merit. But I think it's still that way that you can't have an 8-player party for non-street versus sharp races, clan race, right? It would still be nice to have. The XP penalty is not that bad. Yeah, it's more about like being a perfectionist because the game tracks your finishing position. You definitely want to wall ride this one. Remember that was the corner where the other guy got sniped, where he left because he went so hard out of bounds. So in case you're wondering, wall riding is gonna be effective on some corners. I actually haven't tested it up until now. I think that's the first race where I'm actually actively wall riding to see how it goes. Ram him! But even when you're sponsored, you are usually free to say. I mean, I never had a contract where they said you cannot say anything bad about the game or something. Usually it just says, whoops. Let's go. Keep going. I didn't pay attention. You can say your honest opinion, like in every single Every single promotion I ever did. Yeah, look at this, like a catch-up way. Yeah, wall riding is definitely powerful. I did number 15 guy on the blacklist, that's our livery. You know, considering how hard the cars are to control, people are gonna abuse wall riding a lot. So either the developers increase the friction on the walls, or people will wall ride. That's always how it goes. TDU is now about graphics, that's true, but that doesn't mean they should bring out a game that looks bad. I think the bigger issue is that the game doesn't look that good, and it has bad frame rate. What the hell just happened? Did you see that? You know, I'm fine with the looks of the game if the frame rate was 4 times as high. Bitch. Hey, you can restart this. I guess that counts as the only offline race in the game, because it's physically impossible for anyone to join this. So maybe these events are actually outside of the multiplayer servers. Definitely looking forward to more, and to be honest, we're not gonna get much from other developers for a while anyway, so I would rather I'd rather play this than nothing. Let's meet a bunch of and billionaires. This is it, you're sharp. You will realize your true potential. Life of luxury, privilege. You're one of us. We share these resources with you, but don't rest on your laurels. The spirit of competition is in the Sharp's DNA. Taking part in Solar Crown is an ideal opportunity to showcase our talents. Competition is just the first step in sharing our vision with the rest of the world. And it's very different from the street's vision. They're just immature kids trying to get attention. They think they're at our level. This will be their downfall. We intend to give them a lesson in humility, and the Solar Crown competition is perfect for that. To be clear, we have expectations much higher than the streets, and we expect nothing but the best from you. Prove yourself. The best behind the wheel and become a legend. Angie Graham. So, if it's the same events, which I think it is, yeah, so there are no separate events between Sharps and Streets, which makes sense because those are the events where Sharps and Streets meet up. So not any new events have been added. So no matter which team you join, they're all gonna meet up at the same events. The money grind, I mean, I didn't buy that much yet, so it's pretty slow. There's some pretty expensive cars. I mean, obviously we're a bit limited by what is available right now, but it still doesn't feel like they shower you with money or cars. I mean, I think it's a necessity at the moment to have no pedestrians, because the frame rate is already suffering enough. Also, I don't expect people to magically appear in the final release. Of course, it's not all bad. I'm actually quite excited to play this game when it releases. I just want them to fix the most pressing issues. Yeah, I think trying to tell people this is better than Forza Horizon, I don't think that's gonna work. The game will just give you a different kind of experience. Especially, a lot of people are burned out by Forza Horizon 5, so I can totally see this be a game for those kind of people. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to cut here. It's kinda awkward. Probably not even fast. Shouts to traffic. Fucking out of nowhere. There's some cool layouts though. Shouts to Hong Kong, what's it called? City? Oh, I'm an idiot. What am I doing? Is it a buy or a nay? I don't know. I don't know yet. In my opinion, it depends. If the game stays as it is right now, I cannot recommend it because it runs too badly on most systems. But if they actually fix most of my concerns, then yeah, I would recommend it. Shit. Wee! The first corner, man. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'll see you fresh again tomorrow. Good night. Come back tomorrow for more, and good night. Bye-bye.